Alrighty, so I'd always seen this little spring here ever since we moved. We're at the corner of 13th Street and South Avenue here in Ponca City. And if you drive, you'll always see this. Sorry, I didn't mean to get, that's an empty house, I think. So you see this spring. Now, there's this gentleman when I first approached, he's been tending to it. And check this out. It says unsafe to drink, and that's probably because of the conoco pollution, but I think when this is probably an early pioneer Ponca City water source. And here's the plaque. Big spring, an inspiration to our pioneers and hope for future generations, quotation der, given by Winford L. Otterson to the Pioneer Historical Society in memory of his father and mother, W.J. Bill and Nina L. Otterson, dedicated July 11th, 1976. I wasn't even quite 1 year old yet. Wow. Now, like I said, this gentleman, he was here tending, and, you know, there's kids. This is why we can't have nice things. But I did not realize, you see the water and safe to drink. But he's been tending goldfish here for 4 years. How cool. How cool. Okay, it is Stardate. It is July 5th by now, Captain's Log. So this here is, we're in the basically what we call the conoco buyout area. This is the old Mckinney school. Bonus Dad went here, as well as anyone else who, you know, would have lived in this buyout area and neighborhood. So, the street sign there says 1600 South 5th Street. I can't remember where the cutoff was. 4th Street, 5th Street. There's a whole neighborhood off back there. I don't know if we can get to it or if we're going to have to get to Standing Bear Park to see the street signs like Erie and, you know, the ghost of the neighborhoods down there. So, alright, I guess let's see what other vantage points we can get to. Alrighty, so we are still in the conoco buyout area. Actually, to be specific, we are in Standing Bear Park. So we got this neat little pond. We got buffalo statue, and then of course, we got the statue of Standing Bear. So they've actually turned this into a really neat little museum. Hang on, let me get past the trees. Okay, there's the Standing Bear Museum and Education Center. That's actually a pretty neat little place. I've been in there a time or two. Alright, got the welcome sign. And then over there is, I believe that's the powwow grounds, I think. Now I'm going to have to get out and walk because you will see the street signs of the old neighborhood, and I'll explain a little further. Stand by. Okay, so if you see the traffic light, that is Harding, aka Highway 60, and then, you know, that just goes down. So, I'm trying to remember correctly, but I think over there used to be, as a, you know, let's call it for, it was basically a strip club, a fine line, I'm trying to remember other names of it in the past, and it was notorious because supposedly they had swings where, I guess, girls would actually sit out and not girls, but women would sit out and swing on it, I guess, to attract customers. So, here, this actually used to be a whole neighborhood, you know. One of the street signs I'm looking for is Erie. You had Wayne, Belmont, Coolidge, Mercer Avenue. Now, and I'm trying to remember, probably where that brick building, maybe a little bit before, somewhere in that quadrant. After the buyout, there was one particular house, and it stood there forever. I guess it was an old person that just been there forever. Okay, I think now we do see, that's, I believe, Erie. Hang on. I don't want to get, there is a car there. And, you know, people do come here and walk, and it's actually kind of a nice little park to do that. Ah, yes. Go ahead. Oops. Yep, there's Erie, 300 block of Erie. I knew a lot of people that lived on Erie. The street. Hang on. There's one street that was between Erie and the highway, and that was Wayne. And I had a high school boyfriend. His family lived on Wayne before the whole buyout area. Yeah, I knew somebody that lived on Erie. I think my cousin's uncle and aunt lived on Belmont. I think my supervisor at work, his family lived on Belmont too. I'd like to find a map. I have to dig through my Google Photos. I should have a screenshot or a map. Oh, wow. Standing Bear Native American Memorial Park. Ooh, the bald eagles. Oh my God, I never noticed them before. Oh. See if we get a close-up of the eagles, maybe. Okay, we got a little dedication stone. Phase 4 Powwow Arbor and Trails dedicated September 24th of 2025. Okay. We're getting a little closer, trying to... Yeah, there's a... Actually... Yeah, you see the conoco smokestacks. Well, newer subscribers, I think this is about the best we can get and hope for eagles today. Well, I just got to see eagles. Alright. Okay, let me shrink back down. So, yeah, unfortunately, you don't really see much other evidence. I don't see any street signs. I mean, they got the streets, but that's about it, really. Yeah, this is a whole housing addition. And that street there, that's Erie. Wow. Yeah, I wonder, there's also a creek they called Acid Creek. I have to find it. I think it's more off of 4th Street. And I don't know if I can park and get any footage of it. Water was rust colored because of probably all the conoco contaminations and all. I think, if my memory serves me right, the buyout started, I want to say 1988, 89-ish. Now, when I was in driver's ed, and we would literally drive by here, this neighborhood, and they had some of the houses still standing. They were starting to put some of them up on the trailers and move them on out for sure. But there's still quite a bit of houses still at that time in the early 90s. And then, like I hinted, there was one house that stuck there well into the 2000s. I lived on Alma Street between basically 8th and 9th Street at one point, 2009-ish to 2011. And that house stood there even then. I'm sure the old person that was living there eventually died, and then they had to, they eventually tore it down. I think they even tore a lot of South 5th Street even before the Mckinney school. In fact, I think there's only one lone white house down, here on South 5th that just didn't move for whatever reason, and you know, good on them. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I might, if I can get a good shot of Acid Creek, I'll include that. If not, I'm just, like I said, I hit the farmer. I should have gotten video of the farmer's market. Bad captain, massive fail. A lot of neat stuff. Smoked sea salt, spices, jellies. Have you ever heard of cantaloupe jelly? Yeah, I didn't until today. Beautiful crepe myrtle. So, anywho, I appreciate y'all sneaking out. I was, you know, it's like, why not try to get some footage of the... Ooh, those are pretty crepe myrtles, and look at all the pollinators. Thanks, guys. So, anywho, I appreciate y'all sneaking off with me. Sorry I didn't get out to the dam or the lake. I overslept. And then my youngest is going to be coming in later this morning, I'm sure. And she might go visit with her dad along with her sister. So I just want I didn't want to stray too far in fear of missing her. So I guess we're going to go ahead and go home. We'll edit, see what we got, post it, and go from there. It's already getting muggy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sneak out later like I was hoping. Go fishing a little bit, but anywho. So y'all be good. Take care of each other and take care of yourselves. Be good to yourself especially. I dig all 133 subscribers of y'all. If you haven't already, go ahead and please subscribe. It's free. Best part, hit the bell icon so you're notified. Make sure you're not randomly unsubscribed, and then go ahead and like, comment, and share it as desired in the YouTube community. Because right now, my mini goal is still at 150, and once we hit that, my buddy Stephanie is going to make a cameo. And what's really, you know, she's the one that insisted, she's actually hell-bent that I did this channel. And then two, she, and I affectionately say this with humor and respect and love and affection, but she is such a city girl. Yeah, she's gone fishing, but she will not, if it involves putting the worms on the hook or taking the fish off the hook, she ain't about that life. So that's why I affectionately joke. It's like, well, you're going to at least babysit my worms. Even if it's in the middle of winter and all I can do is just go over to her house and pop out a little flake using a copper nail and a leather pad, so be it. Box of worms is coming along anyway. So, this is Captain. I'm fixing to sign off and all. Laters. Oh, wow. Look at this. Erie and 4th Street. 2400 block of South 4th. Wow. I just think there used to be houses here. Holy Nikes. Wow. I see a street sign that says Lawrence. It says Lawrence on it. Wow. Okay, well, there's a little bit more evidence of street signs than I figured. Okay, there's 4th. Oh God, where'd the sign go? 4th and Circle Drive. Yep. And then there, I think, is the Acid Creek where that fence is. I see the warning sign from here. Yeah. There's Acid Creek. Oops, sorry.